Congresswoman, good morning to you. We appreciate the time. I want to start with the border because you've now made several trips to see these unaccompanied children. You've been to the facility in Dallas. You've been down to South Texas where they are being held as well, too. Congress has kicked immigration reform down the road for years, long before you got to D.C. What is the answer for these unaccompanied children?
I think what you saw was the answer that was being proposed. It was actually being carried out under the Trump administration. Is not to have incentives to rush and surge the border. It's working out with other countries, which under the Trump administration they did with four of the countries, that they were going to actually have people be able to apply for asylum in the first safe country that they get to. So they're not having to make this treacherous journey throughout Mexico, where they surge our borders, where we quite honestly don't have the resources, neither human resources or the capital resources to be able to handle that surge. And that's exactly what we're seeing right now.
Let me ask you about the unaccompanied children specifically, because I think you've even mentioned as well that it's not safe for them south of the border where they're likely to be trafficked. Isn't it safer for the U.S. to allow them in, at least the unaccompanied children, and then to figure out where they go from here?
It's the unaccompanied part that's the most troublesome. When you're looking at where we were in the Donna facility, kids as young as 6 months that are left by the riverside. And that's, they don't have parents, they don't have family with them. It's much more humane to be able to keep them with their families while they apply for asylum than have them come here. These kids are scared. They are packed and stacked in these facilities, having no idea what the future has in store for them. And then the answer from the Biden administration is to separate them further from their families by driving them to cities all across the country where, again, they are alone. You mentioned that I was at the Kay Bailey Hutchinson Center in Dallas. They had 3.5 days to prep that area to hold 2,300 kids. And in 5 days, they were at capacity. That's not humane treatment.
Let's switch gears for a moment here. President Biden is proposing a massive infrastructure plan. President Trump talked about one. We hear most administrations going into D.C. Wanting to do something like this. Biden is now proposing this. Republicans and Democrats have talked about it. Is this something that you would support?
We should have had an infrastructure plan long ago. We should have had an infrastructure plan when we needed jobs the most. Again, we're still needing jobs, but the bill that we just saw the high points come out this morning. Nearly $3 trillion spend, most of it focused on electric energy and Green New Deal policies that will quite honestly kill jobs. I'm not calling it, what the Democrats want to call it. It's basically the job kills bill. And it's the focus is on more tax, more spend, and more federal government control, picking winners and losers, killing jobs, increasing taxes, not focused on infrastructure. That's a problem. And I think, most Americans really, when they start looking at the details of the bill, money that's being spent in schools on taking away paper plates, when they start looking at this trillion dollar spend that this administration seems to think that we're never going to have to pay back, when they start looking at how much that costs per person, per family, it's going to be shocking.
All right. Congresswoman, thank you for the time this morning.
Awesome. Thank you very much.